Hello. I don't know why I sing as if I can sing. I can't sing. Hello, Molweni. I am still going on about Married at First Sight Mzansi Season 2. I wanted to discuss our contestants, our male contestants. We've got Tshepo, Nkululeko, Themba, and Bongani. I think the first person I'm going to talk about is Bongani. Bongani said, I wrote down everything he said. I want someone with a sense of family. And I think that that's beautiful because he goes on to talk about how important his family is to him. He takes pride in, being a present, loving father, loves his daughter. Love that for him. He then continues to say that rejection has played a very huge role and impacted me in a very negative way. I have an absent father, and having to try and understand why he was not in my life. He gets quite emotional when he's talking about this, and I appreciated that. I appreciated him sharing that part of himself with us. I appreciated his openness, and I am a big fan of Bongani only because he just seems quite genuine, man, and he is emotionally available, he's vulnerable. So yeah, I think he'd make a very good partner for, a lot of good people. He says, concerning his relationship with the mother of his child, he says, probably we didn't have the tools of dealing with each other's differences. She came from a fully charismatic background religiously. I'm a combination of Christianity and African spirituality, so I think that contributed to that. Being spiritually compatible is so important. I think as Africans, as South Africans, we are very spiritually aware, and if you are not just aware but you are practicing your faith, I think that the most important and the best thing you can do for yourself is to find someone who is practicing the same faith, because you cannot compromise what you believe. There are lots of things that you can compromise on, but the reason you believe what you believe is because you've either experienced or seen it to be the truth, and you can't afford for your partner not to believe in the same things as you, because what will happen with the kids? Unless the other person just is, agnostic. Is that the word for when you don't really have a specific religion that you align with, but have an awareness of a greater being or creator? If the other person is easygoing, maybe. I don't know. I just think everyone must find like-spirited people. And because I believe that having strong beliefs and strong stances spiritually can result most of the time in relationships failing, I think it's best to just find people who believe the same thing that you do, compared to going out there trying to force someone to believe what you think, or just hoping that they'll let you take the lead and that they never have a spiritual awakening in the opposite direction to you. See, now my tat. Okay, next person I'd like to discuss is Themba. Guys, Themba didn't give us much, but what he did give us, I was scared. I didn't realize the things he was saying until I was writing it down. And I was like, hey, well, where is this person on the show? But Themba says about himself, he loves touching, traveling, business, home. He is very much into home, family, and culture. Then he said, actually, I've been ready. Just meeting people that are not ready. This is what he said about marriage and relationships. Accountability? When you are never the problem. It's always the other children. They're wrong. Hi? Okay. Anyway, this next part, this is what Themba said. I had kids with my ex. 2 kids, a boy and a girl. The breakup was not easy to accept. I met her 2008. She was everything to me. Sometimes you even forget. When you see something, you want to call her, Ish, did you see 1, 2, 3? But forget you are no longer an item. But currently, since I'm here, I'm ready to move on and meet the new person and get those habits in order. Themba. But Themba, now that you're on the show is when you're going to stop calling your ex for vibes and for chats just because you missed her or you wanted to share your day and check if she... Themba. And you were never the problem in your relationships. It's always the other people. It's funny because he has such a disarming demeanor. He's always shown smiling. He seems like a gentle giant. He also seems quite assertive and, dominant. When we talk about, masculinity, he embodies a lot of those things. But now, what's going on? This man said she was everything to me, and the breakup was difficult to accept. So, Bakdampil, it wasn't you who ended this relationship, and at the back of your mind, it's not actually over because this is still your go-to person. She's only going to stop being your go-to person once you get married to this new person. What's it called when you get into a new relationship to help you get over an old relationship? There's a word for this thing, man, and I can't remember what it's called. But is it a boomerang? No, it's not a boomerang. It's a I forgot it. But shame on you. Anyway, moving on from Themba, who I don't think should be on the show, or at least should have had more questions asked of him. I understand that the experts aren't asking, they're just listening to what the people say they want. So I understand. But I think maybe let's create a segment where we have a conversation, where we challenge some of the problematic statements or beliefs that may hinder a successful relationship. We want these marriages to work. We love love as South Africans. We want people who are actually going to meet the loves of their lives, and we want to see happiness. If we are starting with someone who's not over their ex, I'm not sure how this is supposed to turn out. But anyway, I'm going to move over to someone who is catching a lot of heat and is the center of conversation in the episodes at the moment. This is Nkululeko. Nkululeko. When I saw some of Nkuleko's friends, I was immediately worried because the way they're dressed, the way they carry themselves, they are giving a very in the streets type of vibe, and that makes me worried for him. If he's no longer in the streets, hi, I don't know. And this brother Nkululeko said that back in the day, they used to call him Chris Brown. I'm not laughing. I just think some things should just... Why are you telling us this? Oh my word. Okay. So when the gents are together, they've met up for what I think is the first time at their bachelor party. They are now talking about the first night, and they're talking about whether or not they're going to seal the deal. And brother Nkululeko says, I'm telling her, can we wait for 2 months? Hey, people, this is an unpopular stance that he has. People are all like, what? Your wife? You're gonna make your wife wait for 2 months? Guys, this person is a stranger. Like, I know it's your wife, but this person is a stranger. But anyway, also, I'd like us to discuss the subtle hypocrisy in the fact that if a woman had said, I'd like to wait for 2 months, everyone would have supported it, everyone would have understood. And if the husband is not willing to wait until she is comfortable, then he is a horrible human being. He is selfish. And when Nkululeko says he's not ready, or he'd like to just take some time to build a solid foundation before they start partaking in physical intimacy, everyone is like, what? I think we are hypocrites. We are, as people, Jay. It's not pick the pig. Anyway, he says, I'm telling her the first thing when we get to the honeymoon. Sir, the first thing? Sorry. I'm telling her the first thing when we get to the honeymoon. Hey, I do not want us to fall in love with how we make each other feel. I want the real thing. To know you. Who's she submitting to? I think that that's actually beautiful. I think that when the other husbands heard it, it was quite shocking. But if you listen to what he's trying to say, it makes sense. He's trying to build something real. He doesn't want them to get caught up in the feelings and in the, the hormones, in the chemistry. Because if they do that, and then they're high off of hormones and they have not built a real foundation, as soon as problems come, the attraction and the chemicals and all that stuff, that's going to wear off, and they may not have a good idea of how to move forward. They may not have the skills that they need, such as communication, understanding, etc., etc. I understand what this brother's saying, and I actually agree. In fact, is it still a thing? 90-day rule is more than 2 months. That's 3 months, and that was a widely accepted practice. So now, is it because these people are married that we are saying this 2 months is too much? I don't think they're supposed to be. I don't think that there being a specific time frame between said husband and wife, but I think he said 2 months because that's how long it takes before they actually decide to stay together. And I think that would be when the real marriage begins, when they've gone through the show and they agree that they're going to commit to this for the rest of their lives. I think that might be the thinking behind it, and if it is, I understand it. If it's not, why is he catching so much slack? Either way, even if we don't understand it, this is perfectly acceptable when women say it. I don't think we should be making a big deal out of it because he said it. He was speaking to experts and he says, sexuality is something that binds. I've been abstaining for 8 months. Nakia. This is why I think he might need the 2 months as well. If he's been abstaining for 8 months, it means that he has been operating in a particular way. He has been dedicating his mind, his time, his efforts into many other things that he sees more fit and more important or profitable than sexual intimacy. And he also has a very high view of sexual intimacy. So I can imagine that just stepping outside of that mindset, because all of a sudden I'm married, would also be a difficult thing to do. He probably needs some time to defrost, you know. 8 months. I'm proud of you, brother. Abstinence is a beautiful thing. I highly recommend it. If anyone is considering it, you will not regret it. Discipline, having control over your own body, and being able to view relationships with objectivity with objectivity, and not be swayed by just feelings and hormones, is always going to leave you in a better place, I think. He says, I want us to be on that basis where we build on things that are solidified, like our emotions. No, your emotions are not solid. Your emotions are swayed by a lot of things, including hormones, including whether you're hungry or not, including the kind of day you've had, including what movie you've been watching and what content you've been consuming. Emotions are fickle. Emotions will change. You don't always feel like you love even your own family, but it doesn't change the fact that you do. So let's not build on emotions. Let's build on friendship. Let's build on commitment. Let's build on godly principles. Let's build on a shared vision and shared goals. Things like that, you know, and not necessarily one. It can be a combination of them, but not emotions. I'm gonna tell you that for free. When he was asked what would happen if his lady was not ready, he said, who's the man? Brother Nkululeko, I am going to need you to shut off all of the Andrew Tate and what that you've listened to in order to prepare yourself. Those people are probably not in healthy relationships. Do not aspire to be like them. Funny, it's not that men should not leave their relationships, because there are specifically men and women who believe this, and those who have the shared belief work out well in relationships together. The problem is that even women who want to be led don't want a dictator. The reason why women want to be led isn't because they aren't capable of leading themselves. They've led themselves for many years, and they are just as capable, just as intelligent, just as whatever. So now, if you think that leading means that you're going to tell the other person what to do, it's going to be problems here, my brother. The reason why you have a helpmate is because they can help you. And part of help is wise counsel. You hear what the other person has to say, what their inputs and insights are. They can see things that you might not be able to see, or their perspective may help strengthen your own, or enable you to prepare better for certain situations. So in leading, for example, a president does not just get up one day and make a proclamation. They may consider doing something, and then they will ask for researchers to provide information. They will ask the heads of departments, who should be the specialists in their respective regards. They would know what's happening, to the people. Whatever they say they are aware directly impacts the life of the people that they are leading. So they consider that carefully. They consider those opinions, they consider what the research is saying, they consider everything. Then only is a decision taken. So you can't just come and say, you declare that we are we are celibate for 2 months. I think you could come and suggest that, and it be spoken about, and maybe they'll agree, because it's actually a beautiful thing that you're trying to achieve. I also wouldn't make this the first thing you say to this stranger that you've not married. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to be curious about. Who are you? How did you grow up? What's your favorite? This, that, and the other. Did you watch this and that? There's a lot to talk about. But yeah, he then said, I used to be called Chris Brown. He was describing himself, and he was talking about the different things that he is. He said he was funny, and then he said, more than anything, I'm a person who loves God. My purpose is to serve in the kingdom of God. And I love that for him. I love it. I think it would have been nice if he spent a bit more time single and walking in his faith, a bit more time abstinent. But that's just what I would have liked to see, I think. And then he said, I really tried, but I always would fall back into cheating. This was concerning his previous relationship with someone he said that he loved very much, and they broke up because he felt that he was holding her back. And I am not satisfied with what he said. I'm not satisfied because I would have preferred for him to truly reflect on why he was cheating, on what he was feeling and thinking, so that he knows what he's doing, why he's doing it, how to fix it. He said that he never turned women down. That just sounds like he's a people pleaser, which is an issue, because what if when you're married, women are still approaching you? Are you going to continue cheating? Tricky. And also, what was he saying? If the reason you don't turn women down, and if the reason you are cheating is because you feel validated by their attention and their pursuit of you, I would suggest that you spend more time looking for your validation in Christ. I would suggest that you spend more time just focusing on growing that, finding or practicing finding your validation in Christ. I think that's what I'm gonna say, but I am certainly worried about that one. Moving on to last but not least, Tshepo. Tshepo said, on my end, I was ready to get married. I was doing the things that one should be doing to become a husband, but my partner only noticed very later on, when I had checked out of the relationship, that actually this guy might be the one, but by then it was too late. But Tshepo, how did this relationship start? Why did she not know that you might be the one? Is it because you guys started off as vibes and all of a sudden you decided that you've caught feelings and in fact you want this to be a marriage? I'm asking and just asking because I don't know, man. Something is missing from the story. Something is missing. And he said he was doing the things that one should be doing to become a husband. What are those things? I would love to know what these things are that one does to be a husband. that may go unnoticed by their wife. Because I'm asking these things because if we are being intentional about building solid relationships with the goal of getting married, then neither one party, no one in this situation should be unsure that the other person is trying to get married and is trying to see if this relationship is fit, right? Or are we getting into relationships with people who we feel are better than us, that we have to earn our position in their lives, and so we are doing a bunch of things to try and impress them and realize we can't buy our way into being taken seriously? Is that what's happening? Because that's also a possibility. I'm trying to understand how someone just realizes halfway through a relationship that actually they are ready to be married and they are now doing husband things, but the other party, A, doesn't see that they're doing husband things, and B, doesn't see them as a husband until said things are taken away. What are these things? I would love to know. I really would. Okay, so another thing he said is that I've actually asked a girl to go to Paris with me once, and ish. But Tshepo, why are you telling us you take your girlfriends to Paris, or that you want to? Okay. This is how he describes himself. He said Tshepo is a loving guy, a friendly person, but also I don't take nonsense. I believe him. I believe, but Tshepo is friendly because he has studied human interaction and because he has studied charm, so he does the right things and he says the right things. But I don't know when we will get the true Tshepo. I'm not saying that the true Tshepo is not these things. I'm just saying that we're not getting the real him just yet. He said that he likes exploring, he likes traveling. That's dope. I'm sure we could find someone who's into those things as well. I want to be a role model of a husband in our family. I want to build a successful family. I wish they had asked him what this means. What is a successful family? What is a role model of a husband to you? Because obviously everyone has different outlooks. Everyone would believe differently. I would love to know what Tshepo says is a successful husband. I'd love to hear it. I have a feeling it leans strongly on protect and provide, and I also think that it would include liberties that aren't extended to the wife, to maybe explore options, because he is, the provider. I'm definitely projecting because we weren't given much to work with, and so I'm coloring in the spaces that are left empty based on as much that I can pull as possible. Okay. He said, if I had to write a book about my life, I would call it The Day I Died for Love. I think that this is the single most vulnerable thing that Tshepo has said in these first 3 episodes. And let me tell you why. The Day He Died for Love is a story about immense heartbreak, and it probably makes it very difficult for you to open up and to trust people again after that, which I understand, and I hope that he heals. I really do. And I hope that he believes that this is about that person's readiness or that person's state of mind when they broke his heart, and it's not a story of all women or all humanity. And it's definitely not a license to go around treating people as though they are also going to do the same thing, because people are not the same. I think that this is why it seems Tshepo is so well curated and he is so calculated. That's what I think. I think that he is very calculating, and it is difficult to gauge what the outcomes are going to be of this marriage, especially in the future. It's kind of difficult. Okay, he said, I want to get married. I have created an environment conducive enough to get married. Now is the time. I want to share my life with the person. I want to be open and vulnerable and loving and caring and emotional. I think that this is beautiful. The desire to be these things means that he at least is aware that it's important to him and it's something he's looking for. And I am considering that maybe the reason why he's so curated and moves so carefully is because he's aware that not everywhere will be somewhere where he can be this person. Not everyone creates a safe space for you to be loving and emotional and vulnerable. I really do hope he heals, because being hurt should not change the person you are. Instead, you should still show up as this person, but just have your eyes open to see if the person you are engaging with is also like-minded, so that you can tell whether or not this person is just not well suited for you, and you guys can go your separate ways in a peaceful manner without anyone getting hurt. When asked what he was looking for, he said he's looking for someone who wants to grow in their career and personal life, and someone who's ambitious, because he doesn't want to be used. Fair enough. I hear what you're saying. I don't think I believe him when he says he's looking for someone who's ambitious. I think he is definitely looking for someone intelligent. I think he's definitely not trying to be used. But I don't know if he's looking for someone ambitious, because I think that he's probably quite demanding of time, of not attention, but your availability. I don't think that he is someone who likes to be kept waiting. I don't think he could handle not being prioritized, but I'm just projecting. I don't know. Not much to work with, but the outline he has given, I'm just coloring in based on what I've seen and who he reminds me of out there in the world. You know, the type of person. Anyway, let's see how this actually works out.